Hey guys, the last topic for the week is complex fractions, and the good news is it's really nothing new. A complex fraction is just a fraction inside a fraction. And so if you remember that fractions truly just mean division, and rewrite your problem as a division problem, you'll just proceed as usual and follow PEMDAS. So because last night's video was so long, I want to keep tonight's really short. I want to do an example with you and be done. A complex fraction, I have a fraction inside a fraction. So what I'm going to do right away, and I really require, honestly, not just suggest, but require that you do it, is rewrite this as a division problem. So I'm going to say this top, put it in parentheses, is being divided by, that big fraction bar, the whole bottom. Okay. By putting the different parts in parentheses and renaming it as a division problem, I can follow PEMDAS more easily. I need to do parentheses first, so I need to subtract within these parentheses. Well, this is a nice review of subtracting fractions. To subtract fractions, you need a common denominator. So on the left side, I have b minus 1 over b. I'm going to put this first b over 1, so I can see fractions with denominators. And then I can see that I need a common denominator of b. So I'm going to rewrite each fraction with its common denominator of b. This fraction needs a b to become b. What I do to the bottom of a fraction, I need to do to the top. B times b is b squared. This fraction is all set. It already has the denominator it needs, so I'm just going to leave it alone. Now that I have a common denominator, I keep it, and I combine my tops. B squared minus 1. Okay. Now, thinking ahead, you may not all want to do this, but in thinking ahead, I know that when I divide, I'm going to end up multiplying by a reciprocal and hoping I can factor, cancel, cancel, cancel. So when I look at b squared minus 1, I see the difference of two perfect squares for factoring, and I'm going to do that now, just in case it helps me cancel later on. So my last thing I'm going to do on the left side of this division problem is factor my difference of two squares. This is b minus 1 times b plus 1. And that's all over b. And now what I've done is I've simplified the left side of my problem. Now I need to do the same to the right side. That whole thing's divided by, and you can keep them in parentheses if you want, this subtraction problem. Well, again, I'm going to put the whole number as a fraction over 1. Again, I need a common denominator. Again, it's going to be b. On the left side, my fraction's all set. It has the denominator it needs, so it does not change. On the right side, I need a b. 1 times b is b. What I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. 1 times b, again, is b. So with the subtraction problem, I have a common denominator. I keep it and combine my tops. 1 minus b. And now, there's my final division problem. B squared minus 1 over b divided by 1 minus b over b. Well, I've already taken care of factoring the left side. Now let's multiply by the reciprocal of the right side. Now that I have a multiplication problem, you just cancel and clean up. So here we go. Here I have common b's that can cancel to 1. And here I have b minus 1 over 1 minus b. That is our classic reduced to negative 1 problem. So I'm going to call the negative 1 up top, leave the bottom positive 1, gather everything up. So up top I'm left with negative 1 on the bottom, and b plus 1. On the bottom I'm left with 1, so I'm not going to write anything. I'm going to leave that alone. Some of you may want to distribute that negative 1 through and say negative b minus 1. It doesn't matter. I don't take the time usually to do that. Do keep in mind you want to talk about values that make your fractions undefined. So here b cannot equal 0 because all along these denominators that would break any of those fractions. Also here b cannot be 1 because 1 minus 1 would force that whole denominator to be 0. So there's your complete answer. That's it. Try a couple on Math Excel. We'll do lots tomorrow in class. Good night.